Good day, fellow lizards. Ethereum just broke out against the dollar, and for the first time in a long while, there's something here that almost feels like hope for the alts. But one at a time. Let's take a look. Here's Ethereum against the dollar. You can see it right here. A long, grinding downtrend, and price is finally pushed up through it. A clean break out of the range. That's the first green shoot. But hold that thought, because a breakout is not the same thing as a pump, and I'll show you why in a minute. Now, I want to zoom out to the whole altcoin market. This is total 3, excluding stablecoins. Basically, every coin that isn't Bitcoin or Ethereum. The pure alt market. Look at the structure. Every cycle, the same thing. A long, boring box down near the lows, then a leg up, then a higher box. Accumulation, markup, repeat. We're sitting in the third box now, at the bottom of it. And down here at the bottom is a cycle oscillator. Don't overthink it. All it does is measure where price sits inside its natural cycle. 1 at the top, 0 at the bottom. Right now it's reading down near the floor, around 14%. The same place it was at the last 2 cycle bottoms. It doesn't predict the turn, it just tells you where in the swing you are, and where we are is the bottom. Now the fibs. Everyone, myself included, was waiting for Altseason through 2025. Here's the uncomfortable truth. It already happened. What we got afterwards wasn't the start of it. It was a long, painful bear market instead. And look where it took us. Down to the 78.6 retracement. Deep. Right about where the last cycle bottomed before it turned. Same level, same pattern. So my read is this. We're entering a macro accumulation. The kind that usually grinds for about a year. And if that holds, that walks us into 2027 before the real move. Why was the dump this brutal? It wasn't one thing. It was the flood. Endless new coins, the rug factories, the pump.fun casino. Every day 1,000 new tokens splitting the same money thinner and thinner. That's what broke the alt market. Not lack of hope, too much supply. So back to Ethereum. You see the breakout. The levels are down here. It's a clean break sideways out of the range. But here's the thing. Just like the last time this happened, back in 2023, the breakout didn't mean an instant pump. I could be wrong, but I lean towards a scenario more like this. A break, then patience, before the move that everyone's waiting for. And here's Ethereum against Bitcoin, which is the cleaner tell. A bottom formed down here, then a breakout attempt, rejected right at the trend line. Then it bottomed again against Bitcoin. And now, slowly, it's trying to break out once more. Same story as the dollar chart. Early, turning, but not launched. Now the big question, is everything going to pump? I don't think so. And I want to be honest with you about why. Here's the hard truth. Everyone uses AI now. For everything. It's been here about 4 years and it's just part of life. Meanwhile, crypto, with all its so-called use cases, is still a niche corner, mostly for gamblers. Look at this. You scroll and it never ends. Thousands of them. And almost nobody actually uses any of it, except Bitcoin. Bitcoin has a clear use. Store of value, there are ETFs. Everyone understands what it is. But the next Web3, AI, gaming, DEX, metaverse, whatever, those are buzzwords. And underneath the buzzword, there's usually just one real mechanism. It's a tool to extract money from you. Now, in fairness, I'll admit something. I am not the greatest picker of narratives. That's not my edge, and I won't pretend it is. But I do believe in use case. In a narrow, specific sense. Privacy coins, for example. There's a real reason those exist. Another one is hyperliquid. And a disclaimer first, I hold no position in it as of right now, though I might buy some. But look at what it actually is. A place where you can trade perps and pretty much everything else on chain. That filled a real gap in the market. And you can see it in the numbers, right here. Real money, actually using it. That's the difference. When something gets used, it shows up in the numbers. So let me pull it together. Ethereum's broken out against the dollar and slowly against Bitcoin. That's real, and it's the first sign of life. But if this rhymes with 2023, the break comes first and the patience comes after, not an instant pump. The broad alt market is at the bottom of its cycle box, at the 78.6 cycle oscillator on the floor. That's an accumulation, and accumulations are slow. Think a year. Think 2027. And when the move does come, it won't be everything. the flood of garbage doesn't come back. What I'd want is the handful of things with a real use case underneath the buzzword, whatever the narratives turn out to be. We'll get into which ones I think those are another time. None of this is financial advice. I may hold positions in the assets we discuss. Trading crypto is high risk, and you can lose everything. Do your own research. So for now, this is it. Take care, and I hope to see you all next time.